When Micael Lewis writes a book, it's usually a bestseller, and there's a good reason for that. He finds a good story and he tells it well. And his latest book, Going Infinite, is no exception to that. He stumbled across a fantastic character, Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy made famous through FTX, the crypto trading platform that then got indicted for fraud, lost a bunch of people's money, and now he's in jail. So Micael Lewis encountered him, kind of stumbled upon him by accident, I guess. I mean, at least the way he presents it in his book, where a friend called up Micael Lewis and said, hey, I'm thinking about investing money with this Sam Bankman-Fried character. Can you meet him and let me know what you think? Which is already kind of crazy. I mean, I guess Micael Lewis is a well-established author, so he can pull certain strings that most people can't. But it's kind of amazing that he was just able to set up a meeting with this young man worth, tens of billions of dollars maybe. And, the two of them went for a walk out in California, and Micael Lewis was just sort of like, oh my gosh, this is a character. I want to follow along for the ride. That is whatever's going to happen, and had no way of knowing how amazing and wild that ride would become. So the guy at the center of this book, Sam Bankman-Fried, fascinating guy. I mean, made for Hollywood movies. Doesn't think like other people, is the perfect balance between very odd and very brilliant. And just kind of, pulls you in and very engaging, because the way his mind works, it's like when he was a child, he didn't fit in with other children. It's like childhood was, just wasted on him, the way it's described in the book. And yet when he's an adult, he doesn't really fit in with adults either. He's a very childish adult. So he just is this anomaly of a human being. He's just on a different kind of mental wavelength. And yet, has this sort of thoughtful utilitarian philosophy, is part of a movement of thinkers who have branded themselves the effective altruists, who I think take their sort of philosophical heritage from Peter Singer, who's a, kind of a hero of many people who are advocates of animal rights and vegans. And so Sam Bankman-Fried is in this kind of school of thinkers who are of the mindset that the best way to help humanity is to make as much money as you can and then use it to improve societies and people's lives in the future, and give that money to causes that will hopefully divert coming disasters or poverty or hunger or things like this. So it's not like Sam Bankman-Fried was one of these kind of selfish Wall Street guys who was committing fraud to get as much money in his own pocket as he possibly could, like Bernie Madoff or something like that. Yes, he has been indicted now and arrested for fraud, but if the book is to be believed, if Micael Lewis's relaying of events is accurate to what happened, you certainly get the impression, of course this is the way the book paints it, you get the impression that this was more fraud by neglect, fraud by negligence, than fraud by malevolence. Yes, the money wasn't where the money was supposed to be, and so that's fraud, but it's not like there's any indication that Sam Bankman-Fried or the others right around him were skimming off money into their pockets to make themselves wealthy. It's like he was incompetent as a leader, as a manager, didn't really care about where exactly the money was, wasn't keeping accurate books because he felt like there was infinite money. And there almost was. That all, of course, dried up once there started to be a run and people started to try and draw their money out, and they found they were like, 6 billion, 8 billion, 7 billion, depending how you do the accounting, short. That was not an FTX. That was supposed to be an FTX. All that to say, it's a page turner. It's worth reading. It's a lot of fun. It has this sort of very magnetic character at the center of it. And it opened my eyes. I didn't know anything about the story other than seeing news headlines with, Sam Bankman-Fried's mugshot, and I just assumed it was, egregious, selfish fraud. Maybe there are people on the inside who think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. But all that to say, the book is very current. It's very worth reading. So that's all fascinating. I'll end this by saying, despite what Sam Bankman-Fried would say, because he was no fan of adults, he didn't care for anybody over 40, he didn't think they had good ideas, despite his lack of belief in old people like me, I'm 36, maybe I'm still in his window of good guys, I don't know, but this mug reminds me every time I take a sip that lots of people over 30 lead happy, useful lives. May that be the case for all of us. All right, have a good day, read good books. We'll see you next time.